an alternating current circuits, a very important concept we have, that is, what is wattless current? Generally, when there is current in a circuit, there will surely be some wattage. That is what is called as power. But in this particular topic, we are going to come across a very peculiar concept. That's what is called wattless electric current. Generally, when we take this wattless current, what does this mean? What exactly this current, what is called as wattless current? If I consider this is the direction of virtual current, that is virtual value of electric current in an alternating current circuit, let us consider that one as IV. And let us understand this is the direction of virtual value of EMF. Whatever we are taking like this, one can understand easily. I am considering that this virtual value of EMF is making an angle phi with the direction of virtual value of current. So, IV and EV, they now are oriented at an angle phi between them. Now, the moment we want the value of this IV along this direction as its component, we can understand when phi is the angle it is making, then automatically IV cos phi, that now becomes the component of this IV along the direction of EV. That is one component which is called horizontal component of virtual value of current. Exactly like that, when I take a direction which is perpendicular to this, then what will be its component along that direction now? IV sin phi. So, if you consider IV is the virtual value of electric current and EV is the virtual value of EMF, when EV is making an angle phi with IV, then we can write its component along the direction of EV as IV cos phi. Along the perpendicular direction to that, we can write that one as IV sin phi. Suppose if I write what is electric power due to these two values. What would be electric power now in this case? If I write electric power for this pair, the basic equation is EV into IV into cos phi, which is called power factor. Already we have learnt about that one earlier. Now I can write the same EV into IV cos phi, that is the value of IV along the direction of EV, into cos phi. That phi is nothing other than the angle between the values of virtual EMF and virtual value of current. Since both are along the same line, the other angle what we can take up here will be cos of phi, that now becomes cos 0. We can directly understand that cos 0 being 1, we can take electric power is equal to EV into IV into cos phi. That is actually the formula what we have to remember. As far as this component is concerned, with this virtual value of EMF, I have calculated the corresponding power for that and I have got the formula like this. Now the question next is, with this particular component of this current, what would be the corresponding value of power? If you observe very carefully, IV sin phi is the component of virtual value of current, fine. But are you finding the direction, the value of EV along this line now? No. And we know pretty well this angle being exactly pi by 2 radian its value of EV along this line will be 0. In fact, we know basic concept like this. On x axis the value of y will be 0. Along y axis the value of x will be 0. Exactly in the same manner, this value along this line which is perpendicular to the direction, that will be 0. Therefore, what would be the value of power due to this component? So, what we should understand here now, due to IV sin phi, electric power P is going to be 0. So, one can understand that IV sin phi does not contribute for the power that is in this total circuit. Only the contribution of its other component, that is IV cos phi, we people used to find there. So, IV sin phi, since it is not contributing to the electric power there, this itself is the component which is to be called as wattless component of electric current. So, we should understand this way. This implies IV sin phi is now called as wattless component of virtual value of current. Virtual value of current. So, this itself we call it as wattless current. So, what is wattless current here? Current is very much there. We have its component very clearly seen there. But what is happening? This IV sin phi is not contributing in the calculation of electric power across the circuit of AC. Thereby, we call this component as wattless component of electric current or wattless component of virtual value of electric current. So, this is what we call it as wattless current. So, whenever we consider or whenever they ask us to calculate what is wattless component or what is wattless current in an alternating current circuit, then one should immediately get to your mind that it is IV sin phi, that is the component which is the vertical component of IV, that itself we call it as wattless component of electric current as such. So, this is regarding wattless current.